Right then, team. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Scratch Record podcast. Episode 27. No, 6. Lol.
Six.
It's been a long few days, all right?
There's the first mistake in the first 20 seconds. You love to see it.
Get in the jar. Get in the jar.
Where's the jar, really? That's the big question.
Now the studio setup is pretty much done. I genuinely think we might need to have a jar.
Yeah, we need a jar. The issue with the jar is we never have any cash.
We'll make a saving space for Starling.
That's more what I was thinking that you have to transfer into. We'll still get a jar for the aesthetic, but
yeah, for the aesthetic, just a cock up jar.
Get a jar, but it's got like a chip and pin on the top, and you have to like put it straight in. That'd be unreal,
like a Barclaycard thing.
Yeah,
that'd be quite funny.
Anyway,
that would be quite
back.
Anywho, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. We're actually we're doing something again that we've done before, but different. Again, lol. So you probably guess what it is. So you can probably guess what it is. We're actually doing Conspiracy Theories 3.
We are.
And for me and Joe spoke about this, and it felt like something we'd literally done like last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 9 weeks ago.
That's so mental, mate. Like, I was literally saying, because we were thinking about what to do, the two of us. And then I was like, we could do a conspiracy theorist, but I was like, we've only just done it. And I looked, and I was like, it was fucking 9 weeks ago we did a conspiracy theorist. Like, that's crazy. So we've sort of...
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, we'd been doing them. We did it episode 7, and then we did it 17. So I was half thinking 27 would be ideal. With scheduling 26, but pretty much the same thing. So actually, it's about time to do another one. And they seem to go down well, so...
They do. And to be fair, they're one of my favourite ones that I do of me and you. I find it more entertaining in a sense, because it's not quite strictly musical. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like
it's a bit different,
slating someone for doing like a £30 online gig or
fuck off, Liam Gallagher.
yeah, Tory wanker. But like for me, I feel it feels more like natural. I want to say it feels more like something that I feel like if we were going to record a series of something, I'd want to do. Going in depth with conspiracy theories, I think. Yeah,
I think it's nice that every like series of 10 episodes has a conspiracy theories and a decades debate. That's like, I mean, like they're the two that are like the sort of like mini series that we have within it, which is quite fun. So yeah, we're here. If you think they're really boring and hate every time we do it, then that was really unlucky. So yeah,
and tell us actually, because we will stop doing.
Yeah, fax us.
We will, literally, send us Send a pigeon.
Yeah.
With a little note wrapped to it.
Oh, a little note? That's a fucking massive note.
Thanks to the eagle. Yeah. And we'll get that. We'll receive it. We'll read it. We'll burn it. And then decide what to do with the information.
Yes.
But let us know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
That'd be useful. But anyway, before we get into it, I want to say... Thank you for everyone that's supporting the radio show that we're doing at the minute. 8 till 9 on a Friday night and 2 till 3 on a Sunday on Indie Rocks UK. If you haven't listened to it yet, tune in. It's on Indie Rocks UK station, but you have to like access it either through the website, the Indie Rocks UK app on Android, or My Tuner.
That's
radio,
it.
is it,
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
So if you could like just get involved, tell us what you're thinking. I'm getting better at it, I think.
No, you're getting worse.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks, mate.
First one was decent. Other than that, I've been pretty shit.
No, I find that the one that we put out this week, just gone, the third one we did, I think that was probably where I felt the most comfortable.
Yeah,
I felt like I actually could I felt like I was actually being a radio host instead of someone who's been given a radio show.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about how weird it is, like doing anything on your own, but even not being live, like it's sort of like you've got to sit there and it's got that pre-recorded vibe, but you got to act like you're live, and it's like it's strange, isn't it? But no, you sound.
I've got nothing to bounce off of. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing that I was finding difficult in the first couple, but then I kind of got to it, and it's like, well, it's just like talking to anyone anyway. No one listens to me normally.
That's it, mate. Yeah, it's just the same as this, to be fair.
Same shit. Just talk and hope someone's hearing you.
But
yeah, so if you
the music is unreal as well. Like, you know, it's nice we speak about a lot of music on here, but we don't play anything. So it's basically like the podcast. At the moment, just Elliott. We'll be both us at some point. It's basically just a podcast, but we can actually play you the tracks that we're talking about. Just literally, you will find some music that you like on there. So yeah, it's good fun. Tune in. We normally tweet along with it, and there's stuff on the socials. You can get involved, and plenty going on. So yeah, if you haven't yet,
Joe was working this week, so if anyone noticed, the Twitter was I, and it's the first time I've actually logged into the Twitter.
You fucking messaged me for the login details in the morning, and I was like, "We're 6 months in, Elliott, and you've never logged into the Twitter." For fuck's sake! I have to admit, I was stressed. Stressed is an understatement to how I felt with that. I have to admit, it's more stressful than you think it would be, isn't it?
Oh my God, I'll take my hat up to it. That's fucking out of graph.
yeah.
It just feels stressful. I was like doing it and I was like, fuck, how is just Joe do this and enjoy the radio show at the same time?
Yeah.
Because I am not enjoying any second of this. I had my set list next to me and I was still like sweating over fucking typing things and having to then go and screenshot something for the artist of the week and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rough.
Lol.
Rough.
It's all fun though. I would like to know if anyone noticed. I don't think they would, because they look very similar to how I've been doing them. So you did a good job, man.
Cheers. Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. That's all I needed. But
yeah, I mean, we should probably slap into it. I mean, do you want to keep the same sort of vibe where I go first and then you follow up with some bullshit that you've made up?
Hang on. The one this week is actually, I think, is the best one I've found.
One of your more serious ones, is it?
Let's go, yeah.
It's definitely
let's
not.
Go, yeah. Let's go, yeah. Teaser.
God.
It's another replacement theory.
Oh, no.
So, serious shit. I'm telling you. Serious shit.
Well, I look forward to that, everyone.
Absolutely. Anyone that's watching on YouTube, what do you think of my backdrop? What do you think of my backdrop? I'm working on it. I'm starting to get how I want this to look. But hopefully, if we get something on the wall behind me, it should fill it a little piece. But if you're watching on YouTube, let us know what you think about it, because it's new.
I mean, it's probably 2022 by the time we've got it on YouTube, so.
Yeah, true.
Don't
Once
worry
I've
too
uploaded
much.
everything. Lol.
Yeah, so if everyone hasn't listened to conspiracy theories before, normally I do one first that's a little bit like, okay, that sort of could be true. And then Elliott has generally followed through with one that is a little bit more out there. But he seems to have a decent one this week, so we'll find out.
Itchy ear, man.
Oh, fuck it. No. You all right? Oh no, don't do that. I really hope that doesn't come through. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It definitely came up as waveform.
Oh,
it has.
God. Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
That was vile.
That was awful.
Lol. Go on, Joe. Take us away then, mate. What have you got for us today on Conspiracy
I tell you
Theories?
what, I've got an absolute classic. 3. Conspiracy Theories 3.
No, Conspiracy 3.
And it literally can't count.
It's early in the morning.
It is early. Oh, don't break the.
Sorry, it's late at night on a Thursday.
That is another. We've been going 10 minutes. I haven't even started yet. It's early in the morning. We've never ever recorded a podcast early in the morning before. It's always been evening. So we seem to have even more energy, which is quite surprising.
It is surprising because I don't do mornings.
No, we've had a coffee. We're raring to go. It's beautiful.
It is. It's gone, Joe. Sorry,
right.
I'm taken away from it. I'm
come on,
like
serious mood. This is when if we could
serious
edit,
mood.
we'd put in the but we can't. So
yeah, I can't be asked.
So I've got a classic. Elvis isn't dead. This started.
And you say
with,
mine was bullshit.
Give me a chance.
Okay, go on.
Right. I mean, obviously, all conspiracy theories are bullshit to a point, so we have to work on that. This is a rumor that obviously Scouting for Girls started with their song "Elvis Ain't Dead." It's not.
I was gonna say, I was like, fuck, really?
I was like,
Oh fuck! I actually this podcast actually just shows how fucking thick I really am. Like, I think there's so many things that are said, and I'm just like,
mate,
what?
I literally said that, and I was like, what? You're gonna be like, shut up, and you were like, oh, I was like, no, they didn't. Oh god, no, it didn't start with them, but that is a bit of a tune. So, shout out to Scout for Girls.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So, Elvis supposedly dies of heart failure August 16th, 1977, right? Speculation instantly grew that he may not have died at all. A lot of fans believe that he faked his own death to go into hiding, right? So basically there's two key bits of evidence that like leads to people believing this. The first is like weird things surrounding his actual death, such as his cause of death was determined to be cardiac arrhythmia. Thank you.
What is question?
Yeah.
Question. What's cardiac arrhythmia?
Well, I don't know, but cardiac is heart. We need to like sub Dr. Johnny in and tell us exactly what that is. Some sort of heart failure, I guess.
Yeah. Arrhythmia what?
Arrhythmia.
Arrhythmia.
Yes. ARRHYTHMIA.
I'm going with
arrhythmia.
Yeah, can you use it in a sentence, please?
Elvis died of cardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I want to say something about like the heart not being a regular beat, almost,
something like that.
or
Some
something.
sort of heart issue.
Yep.
But the issue with that is, this is what the coroner decided was the cause of death. So after he died. Now, apparently, it's impossible to diagnose after death. This is what I've read. Don't know why. Could do with an expert. Again, we probably could do with phoning Johnny and being like, I don't know why that would be the case. But I think cardiac arrhythmia is something you suffer with and can be diagnosed at the time, but you can't diagnose it post-mortem. So the fact that was determined to be his cause of death was strange.
Seemed weird, yeah.
Okay. Then his middle name on his tombstone.
His tombstone? His tombstone?
His tombstone.
Yeah, the one he took with him for his tea. He's going to make it into rings. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, God. Yeah, shout out the side business.
Yeah, it's not shout out the side hustle.
His tombstone.
That would have been loud for everyone.
Yeah, oh, God. This is a disaster. We won't do that in the morning again. I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm breaking everything. I'm sorry. Hang on. You can.
Okay. So his middle name on his tombstone was spelled incorrectly. So his middle name is Aaron, but it's got like two A's, I think, and it was spelled on his tombstone with one A. Now, some people say this is because to have his actual full name on a tombstone when he was still alive would be a bit of a like taboo, would be like really bad luck. So they purposefully misspelt it so that it's like not actually his tombstone. So the fact that he's still alive, it's not like a weird. Some people believe that obviously if you put your full name on a tombstone, then like you're going to die, sort of thing. Bit of a like.
I don't know whether that's a. I think that's just pretty clear for bad luck.
Do you know what I mean? That's like pretty obvious. You don't really want your full name on a tombstone if you're still alive.
Yeah, literally, I wouldn't want it.
So people say that they misspelled it on purpose so that his full name wasn't on a tombstone.
Can you imagine? Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Say this is bollocks, which I'm going with. It probably is. Your job was to write Elvis Presley's tombstone, and you spell it wrong.
Some fucker's been sacked. Either way, like
someone's been fucking sacked.
Some poor fucker has been sacked because there's no like. You have his name. You couldn't then. It was 1977. I was going to say you could Google his name, but like it was pretty public knowledge what his fucking name was. Like, come on.
Yeah, literally. He was pretty famous. He was pretty famous.
I know, but still, it's misspelled. So then his autopsy has a 50-year legal seal, so no one can have access to it for 50 years.
Wow. Is that a regular thing?
No.
Oh.
Very strange. Very odd.
Okay.
But again,
that is odd.
Linking back to the cardiac arrhythmia, the whole autopsy thing feels like it was bullshit, which is why they've put a 50-year seal on it. Because obviously in their heads, if this is what he's doing, then in 50 years' time he'll be dead anyway. So people will I mean, people still wouldn't find out, but it doesn't really matter as much, which is weird. Then supposedly his life insurance has never been cashed in. So he had a big life insurance. Obviously, he's worth a lot of money. And apparently that was never, ever cashed in. And then his wife in interviews throughout like the whole last however many years refers to a lot of things and says like, he said the other day, or he did this the other day. Like speaks about him in current like tense. And obviously like sometimes like could be a mistake. Sometimes people just still speak about like lost ones like that. But
yeah, well, and I always say stuff about the other day. I always like it was something that happened months ago.
Yeah, but if it was your husband who's been dead 20 years, you probably would think about it a little bit more. You probably wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he did this the other day. Like,
so is she remarried?
I've got no idea, mate. I don't even know if she's still alive now.
Okay, fair point.
Because she was probably relatively old in 77, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of instances of her saying that. So that's it. Around the time, that's sort of the general evidence. It's all a little bit weird. And then the big thing that people cite is the amount of sightings of him since. Now, basically, like, he's been spotted, like, fucking loads of times, supposedly. So people just say they see him out and about all the time. I'm a little bit more like...
Where has he been spotted?
Like, all over... The thing is, there's been reportings all over the world. Like, literally, like, everywhere.
Yeah, but we had an Elvis lookalike that was... used to work in Tesco.
At the end of the day, he's quite a like distinctive looking bloke. Like if someone's got big hair and a bit of a fucking square head, then you'd go, "Oh, it's Elvis." Do you know what I mean? It's not
looks a bit like Elvis. Yeah.
So I'm not as, but apparently there has been like just hundreds of reportings of sightings. In 1989, someone literally started up the Elvis Sighting Society to try and like gather them all together and like work out actually where he is and stuff. Obviously, they didn't really get anywhere with it, but. Yeah, it's like with all the weirdness,
like a very niche market. That doesn't feel like you're appealing to everybody.
Okay, so that's the general like conspiracy, right?
Okay,
but then the big question, and this is a bit that I actually had no idea about before looking into it. The big question is obviously why. Like a lot of people assume he was sick of the fame, wanted a normal life, right?
Yeah,
but I was a bit like, is that actually motivation to go through and do this? Now, this is where the conspiracy gets a little bit more like, but you never know. So supposedly, the reason this all happened was because the FBI have put him into a witness protection program. Okay, bear with me. So, some people believe that Elvis Presley was working with the FBI. There was a big mafia drugs family type thing called the Fraternity, right? Big arm of the mafia at the time.
Yeah.
Now, apparently Elvis had...
them well.
Yeah, the Fraternity, obviously. Like
the Fraternity, the boys.
The lads.
The geezers. I see them about 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night normally.
So supposedly, Elvis bought a plane off one of them in a bit of a dodgy buy. So he sort of was...
As you would.
Yeah, well, as, you know, in them circles...
You want to get any money off of planes.
Come on,
you know what I mean?
Like, if you're going to buy a bit...
Planes are expensive.
That's the sort of shit, you know, that happened in America in the 70s. You bought a plane off the mafia. Like, that's pretty believable.
I'd do it now, to be fair.
And, like, you know, you get a couple of quid off. But that sort of cemented this link for him. And then he also had, like, a big disgust for, like, the hippie drug movement at the time. Like, did not like it at all. And basically, like, obviously the government were really against, like, were really anti-drug at the time as well. And they were just trying to stop it all. So supposedly, Presley and the American government had these similar interests. And they basically said, look, we'll help, you know, push the anti-drug movement, help stop this hippie movement that he sort of had this disgust about, if you basically help us take down the Fraternity. So, because Elvis knew these people, he basically went in as like an undercover person and tried to get information for the FBI about this fraternity. So went back, maybe bought some other things, maybe tried to, you know, get some drugs off them, try and do something, try and help the FBI to take the fraternity down. Now, allegedly, this worked and they got caught, but they found out that it was Elvis. So the FBI faked his own death, put him in a witness protection program so that the fraternity didn't actually kill him. Because obviously, if they found out, they were just going to kill him instantly.
Right.
So,
okay,
there is now more reasoning behind this as to why suddenly they'd fake his own death. It's a little bit botched. It's a little bit panicked. They haven't really it's not properly planned. It's just shit. We need to get this fucking bloke out of here. So, yeah, he's died. Sorry, everyone. Smash the tombstone out. Just do the autopsy. Say it was cardiac arrhythmia. Don't stress too much about it. Put a 50-year seal on it so no one can look into it anyway. We'll just get him out. New identity and it'll be gone.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Has his children had anything to say? Do we know?
I have no idea, mate.
Because isn't there didn't he die on the bog or something?
Apparently that's a little bit of a myth.
Oh, lol.
But I don't know for sure. I don't know, really.
I do semi feel it. I can. Do you know, I can understand. I can. There is inkling to it. I feel it's very similar to the Jimi Hendrix one.
Yeah, it is a bit like that.
I think anything surrounding the mafia is plausible.
Yeah.
There's something about mafia in the 70s or earlier that there is plausibility to anything that's said. Do you know what I mean? So buying a plane off the mafia, it doesn't seem that...
There was so much mad shit going on that anything at that time could have just happened. There isn't really
anything feels like...
Yeah. And the FBI worked with some fucking shady people, used a lot of undercover people to take the mafia down. It was their main way of doing it. It wouldn't be odd. It would be odd the fact they used Elvis, but...
Yeah. My thing about it is you must have a really, really... Donald Trump? A really, really... I can't... It's not even in my camera. It really, really... hatred towards a group of people for you to just want to take it down. The FBI would help him take it down if he helped them.
But apparently he did. It was an extreme disgust was what they'd written on online. But it's he just fucking hated it. But it's
surely
it depends how it's sold, isn't it? Because if they turned around and said, look, let's say we're gonna pass this policy or we're gonna push this law or something that benefits you, all you've got to do is ring up your boy from the fraternity and buy another plane or buy some drugs or do this or do that. That's all you got to do. You'd probably be do you know what? Yeah, I can do that. Maybe did it. Maybe got a couple of people caught. They found out. That
it feels like that does. It feels like a bit of a strange reason to dob in one of the biggest mafias ever.
I don't know if they were one of the biggest mafias ever.
They weren't little. I've heard of them before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The name isn't a name that I'm okay.
But,
do you know what I mean? It's actually a name that is recognisable. So they can't be they can't be little. It can't be the family from round the corner that does a bit of dodgy stuff.
But it depends how it's sold, doesn't it? They might have said, look, you're not taking them down. You're not doing this. All we need you to do is buy something again with wearing a wire. Do you know what I mean? If they say, look, you won't get in, we'll have people around, you ain't going to get hurt. We just need you to do this. And then it's quite easy for shit to hit the fan with it. No one... Go on.
Let's rejig it a little bit. Maybe this did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That he was trying to dob in the mafia and was working with the FBI. He got found with a wire, was brutally murdered, but because he was working with the FBI had to cover it up.
Mm. It could be.
Potentially.
So he's still dead, but in a different way.
So he's not... That's why that autopsy's sealed.
Yeah. Imagine if it gets to, what would it be, 2027, would be 50 years.
Yeah.
Imagine if it gets to that.
Yeah.
They fucking, someone just goes straight into it and it's oh yeah, he was murdered.
Yeah, he was
working with the
murdered
FBI.
brutally.
Mate, this podcast
Yeah.
would bang.
Yeah, that'd be outrageous.
We would slap. That would be unreal.
So what's the title we're going for? Elvis was murdered by the FBI.
Elvis was brutally murdered by the fraternity.
No. I want that nothing near my name on a title.
Imagine.
We are not saying that. No, allegedly. We're just speculating.
No, we're not.
No
They
facts.
did it.
Joe.
It's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying he didn't, but it's witness protection.
Yeah.
Imagine that as well.
Yeah,
and it got to 2027 and he came out and was like, "Way!"
He's like, "Boo, way."
I was actually fucking Mr. Smith down the road, you fucking...
Your new host on Top of the Pops.
It's fucking like, how old would he be? He'd be so old.
Elvis Presley. He'd be
Fuck,
like 80
he
odd,
literally
surely.
would. I think he'd be, yeah.
He'd be like an old frail man. He's got his grey quiff.
Mate, that would be unreal if he just popped back up and he was like, yeah, I'm safe now, we're all good.
We're all good. Don't
Fuck,
worry, team.
man.
We are safe. Yeah, no, that'd be really fucking funny. 2027, he comes out, does a reunion gig.
Oh my God, that'd be fucking outrageous.
Oh my God, that's such a good... Can you imagine how many tickets he'd sell?
Mate. The question would be, can he actually fucking sing?
Yeah, I'd go see Elvis just to say I'd seen him.
Or just sat on an armchair and just had like a microphone and a glass of whiskey and it just smashes it out. Like, that'd be unreal.
Yeah, just bet. I'd sit and watch him bet on the fucking ponies. To be honest, I'd sit and just to say I've been and seen Elvis,
Mate, but
it's a very interesting theory.
I think, although the FBI bit's the more of a reach,
Clutch.
it actually makes the whole thing feel a bit more believable in a weird way. Like the less believable bit makes it more like, because I just didn't like the fact that he just suddenly got to a point, it was like, do you know what? I'm too famous. I'm going to fake my own death. Like that just doesn't compute. Like who does that? But
yeah, but
actually,
at the same time, I could understand it. But with the FBI thing, it feels like it gives it more of a foundation. Doesn't it?
Yeah, because maybe it's a combination of the factors. Maybe he wasn't even in that much danger, but they said, look, okay, you've lost the fraternity a bit of money and we've caught one of their guys. If they did find out, you'd be in the shit. We know that you are sick of the fame. So if you want to, we could put you into a witness protection program.
Yeah.
And it benefits both sides. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
It might not have been like you have to do it. It might have been like, look, we can offer you this service almost for what you've done for us.
I know I'm going to ask you questions, but where did the FBI thing come from?
There was I don't really know.
Okay, cool.
No, I mean, it was like
the origin of that theory seems.
So he definitely met with the FBI in the White House and met with the president several times, and then there was like handwritten letters that they'd found about like working together and about his like disgust for the hippie movement and all that sort of stuff. That's all quite solid, I think. And then Elvis's links to the fraternity are pretty solid. Like it's sort of a fact that he bought a plane off them and all this sort of stuff. That's quite known. So I think maybe those things have been pushed together. I mean, I was reading like NME had an article on it, and so did Time that I was reading, and they were sort of saying it like it was quite true, obviously. But like, maybe he definitely had links to the mafia, and he definitely did work with the president, the FBI, and the government. Like those two things are sort of true. I think crossing those two things might be where the little bit of a conspiracy comes from. But it's
very interesting.
It's possible.
It's plausible. I think I think that gets a plausible stamp from me. I can see it. I'm getting a plausible. Elvis Presley, if you are listening, you've probably not been called Elvis for a long while. Malcolm Smith.
No, you wouldn't choose Malcolm Smith. Depends where he's gone. He might have gone to like Mexico and he's got like a Mexican name. Don't. Don't. I can see your eyes lighting up. Don't. We're moving on. Oh God.
Okay.
So
I can't. All I'm thinking of are Mexican names.
I know. No. Anyway, plausible because as you when I first say Elvis isn't dead, you just think, this fucking shit again. But there is a little to it. So
there is a chewy. It's a chewy theory. I'm a fan. Yeah. I have to admit, I like the idea. in concept, it has some backing to it. I'm not going to go with I'm 100% sold.
No. But plausible.
I'm more intrigued by the theory, would like to know more. Therefore, I think it must have some plausibility to it.
You love to see it.
I do. I like that. That's interesting, actually, because
go on.
Yeah, and the fact that his wife's has spoken about him in current tense or like short-term past tense, I think is what you'd probably call it.
I suppose so.
Like, it seems like there is some backing, like there is some contact there. There seems like, unless she just might like seances.
Yeah, which is sort of common. Like, people do speak like that. I think it's, as with all these things, it's the big picture. Like, all these little things on their own can be explained away. But when you put it all together and like all these weird things that his death, a lot of sightings since, like a lot, and now these links with the FBI and with the fraternity, as a big picture, it becomes a bit of a story, doesn't it? Which, you know, is... Yeah.
I bet he shaved his head, though. I bet he don't have the same quiff. Nah. Surely if you're going to fake your death, you'd take the quiff off, wouldn't you?
You would absolutely take the quiff off. That's gone. You'd
take the quiff off and probably grow a beard. All these sightings might not be him.
He's the guy from The Hangover. That's what you've just described. Bald guy with a big bushy beard.
What's his name?
It's Zach, and I can never pronounce his last name. Galifianakis.
Yeah.
I've gone for it.
You wouldn't link that with Elvis Presley, would you?
Imagine if he did that, went into witness protection, then became a famous movie star. That would be like, what the fuck? No, I'm sick of the fame, so Elvis. I'm gonna go out, and then they're like, and he's like, I'm back.
Joking, loved it.
Got bored.
Just someone else.
Just gonna do something else now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that is very, very interesting.
So,
very interesting.
It's a fact now. So
plausible.
Kurt Cobain was murdered. He didn't kill himself. Jimi Hendrix was murdered by his manager, and Elvis is still alive.
Yeah. Elvis ain't dead.
Elvis ain't dead.
Thank you, Scouting for Girls, for bringing that to the limelight.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you. I'd love to get you on and talk about how you found the evidence for all that. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say Elvis for Girls then.
Elvis for Girls.
That's a different story.
It's a new band. Write that down. Story. Band name.
Yeah, band name, title. We're good. Yeah, fucking hell, I've lost it.
Cool. Right, well, that's cool. Draw a line under it. Plausible. Good conspiracy. Thank you. Let us know what you think.
Let us, get involved. Say. Mine. Yeah, just say what you think, innit? Just say what you think. Say what you think. Say what you see. You know what it is yet?
Oh no, that did not take long to get down that road, did it? That was like. Fuck's sake. What's your conspiracy, Elliott?
My conspiracy is, what have we had before? So we've had...
You did David Bowie and Kanye West, and you did...
David Bowie, Kanye West was the last one.
You did Paul McCartney died.
Really died. Okay, so this is the most supported one yet.
Woo! Okay.
Because... the David Bowie one, that was just kind of like almost like a linking things that happened to really in a nice story.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, let's be honest, that was a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was clutching, you know, making the album look like I think it was making an album look like a funeral.
Yeah, it's just...
like, everyone was in white. Paul was in white. John was in denim. Ringo was in, like, a suit.
It's a load of tosh.
Do you know what I mean? It was a load of bollocks. So, this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Avril Levigne...
Oh. Here it is.
Has been replaced.
Look, do you know what? I nearly did this one.
So, Avril Levigne has been replaced.
Mm-hmm.
There's two theories with this.
Okay.
One is that she's died. One is that she's still alive, but just hated the fame.
Okay.
So, after her first album, obviously blew up big time, Skater Boy, slapped,
fucking tune.
massive tunes. Do you know what I mean? She was famous, mega famous. So, they claim that she died in 2003. So we're talking just before she released her Under My Skin album in 2004. Now, to begin with, there's some clutches with the theory that she's dead. But I'll start with that and then I'll get into just her being replaced. Okay. Under My Skin is a suggestive title. Okay? So it's almost suggesting that there is a person that's not her in her skin, for quote. Do you know what I mean? So in the album cover, the black writing of her name and a red cross drawn on her shoulder is two key things of like black, mourning, red cross, feels like funerally. It's
quite suggestive to death, isn't it, really?
It's suggestive to deth, yes. But I think if someone had died and you were trying to fake it, you wouldn't make it that suggestive.
Not really, no.
But the change in lyrics is one of the things that's pointed out of this album and her vibe. The lyrics become much more darker. But she did a duet with her previous band member. And the duet, I can't remember what the band member's name is, but I think it was a singer with her, and they did a duet. And the singer says, "I never thought I would lose my best friend," in this duet with Avril Levigne, suggesting that this friend has figured out that this isn't actually Avril Levigne, and they've lost that. That suggests, even if it doesn't suggest like that she thinks that the singer thinks that Avril Lavigne's died, but it suggests that there has been a massive change in personality. Yeah. Like there seems to be a change in the friendship and the vibe and stuff like that. Now, the next ones are the thing that I think gives it a little bit more proof, per se.
More stodge.
Yeah. There is some key scars and blemishes that are not there anymore. So on Avril Lavigne's face, she used to have a scar above her eyebrow and almost like a lump between her eyes. The lump is still there because it's quite
raised,
distinct, iconic. It's quite raised, but this scar that was going into her eyebrow has completely disappeared. Which seems sus, but bodies change, don't they?
Well, I imagine if you're that rich, there's probably some sort of plastic surgeon that can get rid of it.
Yeah, very true, very true. But the blemishes on her arm seem to be the ones that are quite different, because it's moles that have moved and are not there. So she normally had like 3 blemishes in like a row, and then a few moles up onto her underarm, which now aren't there when she released this album in 2004, which seems a very quick change around to be losing moles. Do you know?
That's just a funny sentence. Yeah.
I think there's a quick turnaround. So it seems very...
There's a few little bits that are like...
There's a few little bits, and they suggest that she has been replaced by a woman named Melissa Vendela. So this theory was this theory was spoken about by a Brazilian man. So I don't know whether Melissa Vendela seems very Brazilian. So I think I don't know whether it's just...
He just found someone that looks a bit like him and was like...
It's her.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different skin blemishes, but then she did a whole shoot with this Melissa written on her hand. It's almost like a nod to being like... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is really me. but I'm playing Avril Levigne, almost like acting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For a bit. And I think a lot of it comes alongside a lot of lack of press on her, a lot of lack of public sightings, and the public sightings are very noticeable of these changes.
Yeah.
So whenever they're seen, there has been distinct changes of her facial features, her blemishes, her, things that seem quite clear. So yeah, I think the being doubled, that she didn't want the fame, so she put someone else out, has some plausibility because there is a lot of differences. The death, I think, is a clutch.
Yeah.
But I think whenever there's a few things like that, everyone jumps to death than just being doubled.
Yeah. No,
because I can see the idea of not liking the fame when she was so young.
Yeah, I think if you pull it back a little bit, as you say, I don't think like she died and she was completely replaced. I literally don't think that's possible. Like, there's formal records of death, and then like it's very difficult. But if you say, okay, she's very young, struggling with the fame, she almost wanted to like interchange, like. She might be fine. She does a performance, and then maybe the next night, someone else does it for her. Or maybe even there's just some photo shoots and stuff that she doesn't want to go to. She sends someone else
to do it for
her. Like, she's still involved. She's still doing what she's doing. She even still performs. She is her. But the idea they've hired someone to go and do some media work for her as her, I can
feels like it has some plausibility,
like that could
doesn't
happen,
it?
yeah. And then almost reference it and like play it off a little bit, because it'd be one of those things where if people did find out, it wouldn't be that deep. It would be like
there is a key part that kind of has some makes it feel a bit realer.
Okay,
she was on a talk show, and they interviewed her and was asked about this double. And then completely fumbled her whole performance.
Oh, really?
Like, she was nervous, like, it just completely cocked it up, fucked it, sent it to the bin. It feels like that extra thing on top of it is when spoken about, she goes, whoa.
It wobbled her.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, wobbled her. It felt like it moved her a little bit. The video's been taken down for copyright reasons. Like copyright infringement.
Yeah.
But so I've not actually seen it and how bad the fumble was. But it's something that has been claimed
again,
multiple
that
times.
could be the case, that's the real one, and she's used a double previously at random points, and now she's like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Or it could be a case it is a double and the same thing. I can sort of believe that happens. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people do that.
I rate there is quite a few people that are known to have some form of like anxiety around it, and when you've got not many tattoos or things like that, it's probably a little bit easier to double because
just like having a stunt double, worldwide. Isn't it? But like
almost, yeah. But that can also sing and do other things, I guess, for you.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. So what's your stamp?
I mean, it's bollocks, really. I think.
Okay.
I think, like, realistically, I mean, it depends. As you say, it depends on the level we're asking. The full conspiracy that either she died and has been replaced, bollocks, or that she's completely dipped and now everything that's happened since has been this other woman. I literally don't think that's possible, and like, I don't understand how that would work. If you say to me, maybe every now and again, Avril Levigne has sent a double to do some press work or even the odd performance, that I can see that being a possibility. But the actual conspiracy, like, I just don't quite get. Like, and all the stuff like the switch in her music, I was like, I think she's just grown up a little bit and progressed her music. And I think especially when you have a big song so young that's very poppy and cheesy, I think the natural thing is to bring it down, go darker with your lyrics, go darker with your vibe, because you want to, like, it's like all those like Disney stars that then they just all like grow up and go like really out there and go like Miley Cyrus and go fucking mental, because it's like You've got to do the opposite to what you were doing before.
Do something, yeah.
So I just think that's just her natural progression, probably. And even in her voice changing and stuff, a little bit, it's like that. Just it's a sort of progression of how a person does things. I think it's a little bit of a reach. And again, with like the physical stuff, either it is someone else at random points, or she's just had a lot of moles removed and like she's got a lot of money. There's a lot of people that can work wonders and stuff like that. Like, you know, I feel like it's all a little bit of a reach, but it may be every now and again.
There's something to it.
Maybe.
Right. I'm glad you've said that, because the person who's wrote the blog post, and the post that's come famous, admits that it's all waffle and was just doing it for to show that with the right sort of supporting, you can make anyone believe anything.
Brilliant. So it's bollocks.
So it's bollocks, yeah, well bollocks. But I thought it was very interesting the fact that someone's created this whole conspiracy theory that has got traction.
Yeah.
Like NME, Times, Telegraph, major outlets have spoken about this, for her, big enough for her to be asked in interviews.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's probably one of the most well-known ones.
It's one of the bigger ones, yeah, for sure. It's one of the more well-known ones.
That's
so
mental.
I think for it to get that big, and the bloke literally just say like, "Lo, I did it to show this specifically." Yeah,
I like that.
Mad, isn't it?
Snowball effect, mate.
Also got. Yeah, it's one of my favourite conspiracy theories, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So far.
It is interesting. I'd love to know if any celebrities and stuff had sent other people to do, especially like photo shoots or like some press work and stuff. I bet it happens.
Surely. Surely it does.
I can't be fucking
you would assume so. You'd assume so. I would.
Yeah, when there's just something that it really doesn't need to be you. Like, it just has to be a face that's like doing an odd picture or doing an odd little talk. You could just be like, find someone else who will do it for me. Like,
yeah, I think that it's one of them ones where I would definitely do it, and it's, you know, for me, I think it'd be quite hard for me to do it though,
because you're so tall.
I think I'm quite because I'm just a fucking weird-looking creature. I'm not 6'10". Fucking hell! People will be so disappointed when they meet me.
I'd be so weird to be disappointed.
Oh, he's not actually 6'10". Because people like people that are 6'10" just because they're tall. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are like, fucking hell, you're big. Like the geezer from Pointless.
He's just funny because he's so tall.
6'9".
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people like take photos of him just because he's big.
It's the only reason Stephen Merchant's as funny as he is, I think, because he's just so fucking tall. It adds such a layer to like everything anyone does, because it's like Peter Crouch. Like, he wouldn't be as famous as he was if he wasn't so fucking gangly. I mean, good footballer and everything. I like, and he's really funny, but like, he gets the attention because he's just so fucking weird looking.
I think I'm the same height as Peter Crouch.
Yeah, but he's no.
Let me have a look.
He's so gangly though. Like, you're not gangly like that.
He's gangly.
He's too.
Oh no, I'm not the same. I'm not the same.
No,
height
he's
as Peter
really
Crouch.
tall at it.
As in, he's only 6'7".
Only 6'7".
So he's 2 inches taller than me. But he's gangly.
He doesn't look right.
At least
he doesn't look like a normal human.
He's little and weedy, bless him. But I'd love to have him on the show.
To be fair, his podcast is one of the best out there, so big up.
It is one of my favourite podcasts. Yeah. He's just quite amusing. He's an amusing creature.
Don't kiss his ass too much though. Cool. Well, that's Conspiracy Theories 3.
That is Conspiracy Theories 3. I love Conspiracy Theories.
Yeah,
I think they're fucking
good
jokes.
Fun. They're good fun. I don't know if anyone else does, but we enjoy it.
We could do like a video, like the one that Unsolved, BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Do you know how much research must go into those videos? Though? I always think that.
Oh my god,
it's
so much
like,
research.
We read a few articles and get a general idea and then tell the story. It's different fucking gravy what they do.
Completely different kettle of fish, and it's the production level that they put into that is absurd.
Yeah, it's literally fucking madness. But yeah, we could do.
It is crazy. I'd be down. I'd be down for sure.
Cool. Well, yeah, let us know what you think of both of them. Fact or bollocks.
Fact or bollocks.
And do let us know if you do enjoy them, because if you are just getting bored of them, then we'll stop. But I think they're quite good fun, so Here we are.
I think we're going to run out of music ones to do.
Yeah, we might have to delve into real conspiracy theories.
I know what my next one is. I already know what my next one is. I was torn between doing it today.
Ooh.
That Stevie Wonder can actually see.
God. I just love that clip where he does catch the microphone on his spoiler, but it's so fucking funny because I'm like, I think he just has caught it, but it's like, it's just fucking, it is jokes. But
it is hilarious. It's like he goes to loads of basketball games and they're like...
Yeah, I do like that one. It makes me giggle. Okay. Yeah, do that. I want to hear you really fucking go for it though. I need like...
Yeah, I am.
I'm
going to find... Yeah, a wealth.
A wealth.
A wealth. A wealth. I won't do anything less than
Thank
a wealth.
you.
You are welcome. Right then, Joe.
Shall we slap through some...
As everyone knows, gets to the end of the podcast and we get into bands. Yeah. New bands, anything that you've seen on the horizon the last week or so?
Yeah, I've got a new band and then a new release from someone we spoke about before.
Okie dokie, cool. I've got a band and I will look for a release.
Good. Okay, well, I'll tell you about my band then. So my band are called Daydream Runaways. Cool. They are a band that they actually responded to one of our tweets. So I've been every week on a Friday, I've been tweeting out for new music, like hashtag New Music Friday, which is a bit of a thing, and getting anyone and everyone to just drop a link to their music and then retweet the tweet. And if everyone does that, it obviously spreads all this music really far and wide. And they've been doing really well. And I think it has...
Yeah, they have been doing really well.
And I think that's good. So if you are a band and you've not seen that on Twitter, every Friday, get on it and drop your link to new music, because or just any music really, and just get sharing it. But these are one of the bands that I've found through that. So they literally replied, dropped their music, and then I think they tweeted us again and were like, if you've not heard it, the EP's out, like, go and have a listen. And I think, like, people never want to come across spammy, but genuinely, I'd sort of encourage it, because, like, I probably hadn't listened to them from dropping the tweet, because we get so many, and I do work through them slowly but surely, but I hadn't listened to them yet. And then when they tweeted me again, I was like, yeah, go on then. Like, there's their EP again in my face. I was just like, yeah, press it. Let's just give it a bash. And it's really fucking good.
Yeah. I enjoy that song that you've put in the playlist this week.
It's really like proper like indie rock pop, sort of just catchy choruses, like really good vocals and that song. Really good, like sounds very polished for like a relatively unknown band. But on that EP, they've got like 2 other songs as well, and they've got like very like a more slower one, a more lyric focused one, and like they show a lot of depth throughout that EP, which is really cool. And they've been influenced by like Led Zeppelin to the Smiths to like everything in between. But they say they get a lot of influence from like pop culture, like video games, comic books, stuff like that. And like I just think you do get a real vibe for that. Like there's just a lot going on, but it's quite not cheesy is the wrong word. It's not, but it's just like it's got those references to like a lot of the stuff that like we're interested in. And I think it's it gives it a really good vibe. Like I do really love that song that's in our playlist. And they've shown a bit of depth in their actual musical ability on that EP as well. So yeah, Daydream Runaways got a new EP out and it is very, very good. They're from the Southwest, it says. So I don't know specifically where they're from.
The Southwest.
The Southwest. But that's a little bit different as well. I think that's quite cool.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, Daydream Runaways. They're pretty good.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. I want my one. I'm gonna open my one up with a formal apology.
Oh my god.
To this band.
Oh, no.
It's a band that I've put in the playlist this week, and I played them on the radio this week.
No.
And I've kept calling them Flamingo Bay.
I tell you what, you messaged. Well, no, you had it written down on your notepad when you sent it to me, and you'd written Flamingo Bay, and I was like, that's not the word.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not at all. It's Flamango Bay, and I'd like to formally apologise for calling it Flamingo Bay, that I'm a little bit dyslexic and can't read. So,
excuses.
No, I genuinely
it
just
does
can't.
Like your brain naturally.
It naturally did it. So I apologise, and I didn't really look into it because I thought Flamingo Bay was quite a cool name.
I assume Flamingo Bay is a real bay somewhere. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that would be my assumption. So they're a band that. So they say they're a Berkeley-based band.
Okay.
Berkeley-based indie band, which I assume means Berkeley in California.
I was going to say, in the States, isn't it?
is my assumption. Unless there's a small town called Berkeley somewhere
There's
in the UK.
definitely a Flamango Bay in California as well.
Like
that just sounds like such a California
sounds like that place. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
So, yeah, they have a diverse background of music by the sounds of it, and I'm gonna go with they are American because their drummer's called Dash.
They're American.
I feel like that's a very American name. So they say they've got a massive diverse music background. It does show with the singles they've released. They've been performing together since 2015.
Wow,
so they've been a group for a while, but they've not had many releases. They've only been releasing from last year. They've got 4 singles, which are all very good, but this most recent one was the one that I felt suited our playlist the most. And it's called Drive, which is like their most recent single that they've pulled out. And they've only got 164, no, just misread it, 167 monthly listeners.
See, proof, you can't read anything, so don't take it.
I just can't read.
I did not know their listeners were that low. That's mad.
Yeah, tiny. So I don't even know how the fuck I found them, how I managed to come across them. Really good. But that Drive is a track that's a banger. Yeah. Really, really sick track. So we played it on the radio on Friday night and Sunday because it's the same show. But yeah, I love it. I love that track. I think it's really, really brilliant. And you can tell the influences are kind of all over the place. And they say that they range from jazz to rock to R&B, which is really, really sick. Is their like background range, and you can see that, to be fair, in what they're bringing out with this Drive track, especially especially the indie rock side of it. Sounds very sick. So Flamango Bay, which if it is an actual bay, let us know. Flamango,
please.
The team from Flamango. Oh, I'd like to know because it seems, I don't know, it sounds like a cool bay. So when we're out in the States, we'll come visit.
The detailed analysis you got on this podcast, let us know because it sounds like a cool bay. Beautiful.
Yeah, like if it's a real bay, it sounds like, I bet it's quite a nice little beach.
I bet it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's quite sweet. So we'll pop up. We'll come see you.
We'll pop up to Cali, yeah, for sure.
Cali boys. But yeah, that's my artiste.
Yeah. Okay. I have a new release. I have a new release from the new Consistent, who we've spoken about before.
I fucking love the new Consistent. I think they're sound ass.
He's dropped his EP called Stories from the 01905. And he's been hyping this EP for a long time. I
want to just jump into it. That will be area code for Americans that don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Worcester.
Yeah,
I think.
Is it?
I think so. I think that's where he's from. I might have just fucked that up, but it's somewhere just
I thought it was Birmingham way.
Yeah. Is that near Birmingham?
Well, it's Birmingham way. It's a
Birmingham
an area code, basically. It's an area.
Then he talks about postcodes and stuff as well on the first track, but it's an area code.
Should we be from the
01933? I got the thing is the pressure now. I can't do it. If you don't know, and you are like American or you just haven't heard of it, you don't know what Birmingham accent is, listen to the new Consistent, and it will show you very quickly what a Birmingham accent is. It's class. It sounds really good.
It sounds so sick. But Joe can't do a Birmingham accent, and I'm not going to try.
I feel like I could, but I'm not going to try. I'm not going to embarrass myself. It's just Peaky Blinders, isn't it? He's dropped this new EP, and he's marketed this EP so intelligently.
Really,
I've been so impressed by it. I remember speaking to him about it in fucking June when we started this up, and we had a chat, and he was like, "I have got an EP coming in October that I'm going to be doing a lot of press for," and I was like, "Oh, October, November, whenever it is." And I was like, fucking hell, yeah, like that's pretty mad. And then it's like, now it's come about, I'm like, yeah, I can see why he was planning this so far in advance. He's got like a proper consistent aesthetic to it. He's done interviews, he's made documentaries of him making the EP. He's done, blog posts, he's done everything that you can think of to support this EP. And it's come out and it's really, really fucking good. It's taken he's got quite a niche style of music, like spoken about before, but it's almost like spoken spoken word. It's almost like poetry, rap, telling stories basically over beats. But he's now like on this new EP, he's sort of really delved into then having a little bit more of a poppy chorus and getting a feature on it.
Okay, cool.
So he's got like getting a feature on it, and that Turn Off All the Screens he did, and it featured Charlotte Lennox, I think. Yeah. She did the chorus, and obviously it's a little bit more like that, where he's got his vibe, and then it brings into like a little bit more of a catchy, poppy chorus in like, so that it's just got that little bit more of a feel of a full song to it rather than just the stories, which I think like he's really now nailed that mix of doing what he wants to do, but maybe marketing it a little bit more open to like people who want that like catchy side of the song. So it's got Rude Boys on it, which was a song that I found him through, which I just fucking love that song. But it's got a lot of depth. Some of the stories he tells are so good. Lyrically, he's so intelligent. And he's just gone to like a really good artist. But I looked.
Yeah.
That Turn Off All the Screens now got 5k streams, and he gets 3k monthly listeners. Now, when I found him, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm pretty sure he was on less than 50 monthly listeners. Like it was so low. And
yeah, because what was it? Supermarket Flowers, I think the first one you put in the playlist.
Petrol Station Flowers.
Petrol Station
so you
Flowers.
Could do that. That's the Ed Sheeran one.
Ed Sheeran one, yeah. Do apologise to him.
Yeah, and it's like at that point, like he was tiny, and like to go from that, the fact he's put so much effort into his EP and marketing it, and it's worked to the point where he's now on 3k, and it shows in the numbers. Like I'm so pleased to see that it's worked. Like he didn't do all that for it to not like get a little bit of traction. He's now starting to get those listens that he deserves for it. So yeah, if you've not checked out the new consistent Stories from the 01905.
Yeah, very, very, very sick release that. I like that EP. It's sick.
Beautiful.
I think it's very cool, and it sounds very personal as
really
well to
personal.
him, which is something that
very emotional.
Really personal. Yeah, and I think it's something that, especially with spoken word, works really well.
And like the documentary he made alongside it and stuff is sick. Like he's got like creative vision, and hearing him speak about it, as a package, it's just sick. So yeah, worth checking out.
It's a very cool little package. Yeah, absolutely. Mine for this week, my release, is by a band that we've spoken about before as well, and it's also a cover.
I think I know what it's gonna be.
So I'm gonna do Shader's cover.
Yes.
For the Simple Minds track, "Don't You
Forget About Me."
Forget about me.
Oh, what a fucking bagger that is. Jeez.
That is a tune. And the main reason that I'm doing this, I know it's not an individual track and it's not something to do, but it's a charity push. Yeah. So it's being done for all the proceeds go to help We Make Events campaign and also Music Venue Trust, which is basically supporting music venues and gigs and stuff like that, and the people in that industry, because at the minute, obviously, they can't happen. So it's supporting people that want to make stuff happen, but obviously, and that's their livelihood, and it can't happen at the minute. So I think it's really important that it gets more listens, it gets bought, you know, because the donations to that is going to be something that's, I think, really close to all of our hearts at this podcast and across the board when it comes to music and gigging and bands in general. And actually, it's a fucking good
slaps. Cover. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good, like, it is actually a good, like, it's a tough song to get right, and I think they've done really, really well with it. And what a fucking tune it is.
But they have, like, it is a Shader version. It's not like they've just sang it. Like, they have put that, like, spin on it, and they're such a talented band anyway. But they've managed to take that song, like, adapt it into their style and then perform it so well. It is a really fucking good cover. And as you say, like, it's a good song, but it's also well worth pushing and streaming and sharing because all the proceeds are going to a really, really good place.
Really
so
good
if you've not checked that out, even if you like, you know, you're not that interested in the song, go share it anyway. Go like give it a stream, give it a share on social media.
The proceeds
it's a good cause. So yeah, definitely get on that. It's sick.
Yeah, it's a cause that's really close to all our hearts around here, and I just think it's something that I want to make sure that it gets some good traction and we can do the best that we can to help that out as a group.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Al. That's a good pull.
That's a very, very good single. So go check it out. And that Shaders Don't You by Simple Minds.
Forget about me.
Radio,
Don't You by Simple Minds.
Yeah.
He's in the groove now.
the groove.
And that's all we've got time for today.
That is all we've got time for today. Thank you for listening. It has been the Scratch Record Radio. No, but genuinely, I think that is what. I think it has actually been what we've got time for today. I think we're all cleaned up, all done.
I think so, mate. That was decent.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed
as
that.
Always.
So, if you are listening on, and I've got this far, I need to start learning how to do this at start.
Yeah, well, it won't take too much learning, mate. Just got to do it.
Yeah, I know. I need to get to the habit of doing it.
Because everyone, looking at our numbers, everyone's gone by now. We can say whatever we want. People did.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
You can finally shout out all the Mexican names you were trying to think of earlier.
So basically, make sure you are subscribing on Apple Podcasts and you're liking
following on Spotify.
Following on Spotify. Also, we are available on different outlets. So if you are listening on some of them others, Pocket Cast, all that jazz, leave reviews on anything you can. It does help.
Apple Podcasts reviews are fucking massive, and we've now not had any in a while.
So important.
They are the best thing you can do to help our podcast, like podcast wise.
Yeah.
So if you are listening on Apple Podcasts and you haven't left a review yet, that would be fucking beautiful. Just literally put good podcast 5 stars. Like, it takes 10 seconds, but it fucking helps us massively. So that is a big one to push.
Yeah, it helps more than you know. And I can now, I think, say what we're doing in December to some extent. I'm gonna get into it a little bit because I mentioned it on the radio show, and I think people will probably know that we're doing something in December, and it would start tomorrow as of release.
Whenever the 1st of December is.
Hopefully. Yeah, so 1st December, we are actually doing a advent calendar. So hopefully, if people respond in time, it should be starting on the 1st. Yeah. We are actually doing a short form interviews on Instagram Reels, TikTok, short form content. Yeah. So
Twitter, everything.
They should only be less than a minute long. Of lots of different people. We've had some very, very interesting people that are doing it. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, please get over there at the SR Podcast, and that will be being posted every day for December from now on in until Christmas. And also get at our TikTok, which I believe, Joe, what is the handle?
Haha! No, what a fucking question. I mean, if you search the Scratch Record Podcast into TikTok, we'll come up.
Okay, it will probably be at the SR
Podcast, but that is something I need to check. I made it a very long time ago. We've never posted, so I will, before we kick this off, obviously, we'll get that all up. It's not even in the link tree and that yet, but it will be. So if you go on our link tree on Instagram, Twitter, everything, the TikTok will be in there as well. So you'll be able to find us. If you give us a search, we'll pop up.
Yeah. So going over, I think it's going to be really funny. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to editing it. I'm looking forward to our intros when we get them going after the first few ones. I think it's going to be very sick.
It should be 24 bands in 24 days. You'll have a little interview. Bands,
24
artists,
bands, 24
music
people. People in the music industry of some description will be about and involved. So I think that if you aren't seeing that about on your pages, get over, follow. We're pushing for TSRP to 500. So follow us, please. Please follow.
Tell your friends to follow us.
Yeah, we're pushing for the 500. Yeah. Tell your mates.
Tell your dad.
Tell your dogs. Tell your kids.
Yeah, especially all the kids. Get the kids involved. No one's listening. Let's just end it.
Yeah, all right. Right, we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Peace.